Actually breathe in my nostrils to make me move. We have fewer democracies in the world today than we... Fewer, not more, fewer. President Biden, can you hear me? That's a serious question, right?
And the President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden, Jr.
Let's go lick the world.
So, spoiler alert, no Epstein files, but here's what Donald Trump said originally about them.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
Well, Elon Musk says time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. That's what Elon Musk said. Guess what? Breaking. President Trump's Department of Justice and FBI conclude Epstein had no client list and committed suicide. That's real. Remember when J.D. Vance said this? Remember when we learned that our wealthiest and most powerful people were connected to a guy who ran a literal child sex trafficking ring, and then that guy died mysteriously in a jail, and now we just don't talk about it? He said that in 2021. Well, guess what now? Now? Nope, nothing to see here. Don't talk about it. Nothing to talk about, nothing to see. Even though they've been talking about it for years and years, now when they're in power, nothing to see here. Show's over. Go home, folks. President Trump, they have no evidence that convicted sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a client. There's no evidence that he had a client list or was murdered. No evidence. According to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios, the administration is releasing a video, get this, in both raw and enhanced versions that it says indicates no one entered the area at the Manhattan prison where Epstein was held that night he died in 2019. The video supports a medical examiner's findings that Epstein died by suicide. He broke his own neck, is what they're saying. Here's the video. Guess what? There's a minute missing from the video. Department of Justice releases 10 hours of surveillance footage claiming no one entered Epstein's cell before his death. Weren't the cameras supposedly malfunctioning? That was the original story, that the cameras were malfunctioning. Now they're saying, no, we got the video. What? They magically work years later. So, but watch this. Watch this. 1 minute is missing from the Epstein security phone.
Oh.
So, watch this. So 11:58:57, and then it goes right to 12. It just jumps. 11, boom. The findings represent the first time Trump's administration has officially contradicted conspiracy theories about Epstein's activities and his death, theories that have been pushed by the FBI's top two officials before Trump appointed them to the Bureau. That'd be Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. A social media influencers and activist, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were among those in MAGA world who questioned the official version of how Epstein died. Patel and Bongino have since said Epstein killed himself, but it has become an article of faith online, especially on the right, that Epstein's crimes also implicated government officials, celebrities, business leaders, and that someone killed him to conceal. That's not on the right. That's anybody with a thinking brain. What do you think Jeffrey Epstein was doing? He was running a blackmail operation. What do you think he was doing? Sex trafficking, children. What do you think he was doing with Prince Philip? Was that what his name was? Prince Philip? Which prince was it that got in trouble?
Yeah, hold on.
The memo says no one else involved in the Epstein case will be charged. Epstein's associate, Maxwell, is serving
Prince
20...
Andrew.
What's that?
Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew. Sorry, Prince Andrew. For sex trafficking and related... of course, she's in jail for 20 years for sex trafficking people to no one. She trafficked kids to no one. Who are the people she trafficked them to? That's what people want. According to the memo, investigators closely examined footage of Epstein's Manhattan prison cell between around 10:40 p.m. on August 9, 2019, when Epstein was locked in his cell, and around 6:30 a.m. the next day when he was found unresponsive or murdered. The footage, which was reviewed by Axios but couldn't be verified independently, showed no one entering the area, the administration said. The FBI enhanced the relevant footage by increasing its contrast, balancing the color, and improving its sharpness for greater clarity and viewability. Investigators found no incriminating client list, no credible evidence that Epstein's blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predict an investigation against uncharged third parties, the memo adds. So if you believe that, I've got a vaccine I'd like to sell you that stops transmission and contraction and will end the pandemic. If you believe any of that. They said for years there was no video. Now all of a sudden we got it. And I can't speak for the veracity of that Twitter video. I can't speak for the veracity of that, but that looks exactly like something they would do. MAGA's media universe and some of its voices on Capitol Hill have expressed frustration with the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein case since February, when Department of Justice released a tranche of Epstein-related files that were already publicly available. Conservative figures panned the disclosure, saying it lacked new information. Remember this? Remember that when they got these conservative media influencers and they gave them this dossier full of nothing? And they all celebrated as if they had gotten something. They didn't get anything. Representative Anna Paulina Luna says, I nor the task force were given or reviewed the Epstein documents being released today. A New York Post story just revealed that the documents will simply be Epstein's phone book. This is not what we or the American people asked for, and a complete disappointment. Get us the information we asked for. Questions about whether Trump's name is in the government Epstein files have persisted because they had been acquaintances who attended the same parties in the 1990s. Look, can I just show you? I want to get to the video. Bongiorno does a complete U-turn on Epstein. In 2023, he said this.
Listen, that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Outside of a few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Wow, what a switcheroo. Here's Kash Patel. In March, Pam Bondi says the FBI has tens of thousands of Epstein videos. In April, Patel says that they vanished. In July, the Department of Justice says there's no client list, no names, suicide, case closed. They had the tapes, now they have amnesia. Let's watch.
Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
Tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume. And that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going.
So Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring to get blackmail, apparently on nobody. Apparently on nobody. That's what they're trying to tell us now. And then he killed himself. He was already convicted of sexual sex crimes already once. And he got a sweetheart deal where he spent a couple of weekends in prison and spent. And why did he get that sweetheart deal? Well, the guy who prosecuted him said, I was told to give him this deal because Jeffrey Epstein was intelligence. And now the guys who are in charge of the FBI say, no, nothing to see here. There's nothing to see. He didn't do anything. Jeffrey Epstein was just a dude. He didn't do anything. I like this. Elon Musk tweeted this out. Will we release the Epstein list? We just need more time. The Epstein list is on my desk. There is no Epstein list. That's what Elon Musk tweeted out. Here is Benny Johnson, February 2025. You say that the FBI here. Well, let's watch it.
You know, it's the same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
Oh, I saw you
give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that.
Yeah.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, you know, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but if release the names, right? What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? You're going to accept Dick Durbin's word, or whoever that guy is, as to who is on that list and who isn't, and that it can and can't be released? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are. We have an election coming up, and we need to adjudicate this matter at the polls. God knows the FBI and DOJ aren't going to do anything. But how are you going to reward the FBI with a new headquarters building after their illegal surveillance on Donald Trump continues with a reauthorization of FISA, and we can't even get basic documents out? This is why America hates Congress. And this is why I'm tired of the Republican majority saying they're going to get the job done and failing.
I wish I would have led I should have led the story off with that video. That's them themselves saying these things. That's Pam Bondi, that's Kash Patel, that's Dan Bongino, themselves saying those things. And now they're gonna pee on your leg and tell you it's raining. The Epstein client list went from sitting on Pam Bondi's desk to never existing. This is the most blatant cover-up in history. The FBI is lying to protect the child rapist it should be going after. The government is so corrupt it can't even be trusted to hold pedophiles accountable. There it is. Pam Bondi, Jeffrey Epstein's client list sitting on my desk. FBI finds no Jeffrey Epstein client list. He did. It was a suicide. Nothing to see here. Donald Trump's assassination in Butler, Pennsylvania. Case closed. Was just one guy. Which one is lying? Why is Kash Patel denying the existence of Epstein Island videos showing child sexual assault just days after Pam Bondi revealed the FBI has thousands of hours of such footage involving Epstein and his clients to comb through before releasing?
Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
Tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going.
I have been saying for years that it was suspicious that Epstein died the very night that the news report came out initially naming Trump on the flight log. Now, when Trump gets back in office, they close the case and say there is no client list. Here's Elon Musk. What's the time? Oh, look, it's no one has been arrested o'clock again. The official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter. 0. Some people still standing by it. They don't care. This isn't Insurrection Barbie says, I'm not saying we need to move on from Epstein. I want to see accountability for everything. What I'm saying is that Epstein is not the end-all, be-all defining moment of the Trump presidency, like people on air making it out to be, so you can sell some more rage and make money. It's not the that's. You can say that about anything. Things that you should be outraged about. People should be outraged about it. It's not the reason why I would support President Trump or not support President Trump. It's important, but it's not. It's so is 100,000 other things. What I'm saying is that the perspective, nuance, patience, and common sense need to make a comeback, and fast.
Oh, okay. Then let's talk about Israel. How's that?
But we did get PEGO.
I know it's not sexy.
Wait, sorry, that was someone else. And here it is. Paid influencers starting to push the just move on narrative over an issue they've been obsessing over now that the money is cleared. How much did the GOP pay for this post? So that's what Steve Bean says about that post. Alex Jones. Epstein files in. This is from February 2025. Epstein files incoming as Trump's massive moves against the deep state shatter the globalist infrastructure to make way for America first. Here it is. Buckle up. He tweeted this out. Buckle up, Hollywood.
As most of you know, President Trump last night in a national television interview said that the release of the Epstein files, JFK files, and others is coming along well and will be out soon. They're obviously just redacting the names of any innocent people or informants or victims. But he said, look for the JFK thing, to be even bigger. And I think it's clear, the bad guys have hidden or destroyed. They've had all these years to do it, Comey and his daughter and the rest of them. So I don't know how much we're going to get there. But regardless, we have the UN running child human trafficking. We have DHS under Mayorkas and all of them, and just all these giant cases, the CIA finders cases and all of it. And I'm saying focus on Epstein. That's important. It's catch people's imaginations. It's key. But everything else is important as well. That's why I did that hour-and-a-half deep dive a few weeks ago with Ian Carroll that's right here on X and also at man.video, where for an hour and a half we cover a wide spectrum of it and some of the huge documented cases, of CIA giant child trafficking sex rings. Just massive MI6, the British royal family. But it is a big deal that this is coming out. We're 56 days of the Trump administration. They are moving very, very quickly. Of course, Trump's come out and said basically everything Biden did, it's not just the pardon is invalid. With the auto pen, he didn't know what he was signing. Most of the time he didn't sign it, like the liquid natural gas deal. They've got a criminal investigation going of that. So they're moving very, very quickly on every front. They're dismantling the whole globalist system.
So he said that on March 17th, 2025. He tweeted that out. And here he is, July 7th. Breaking, exclusive. Trump's must demand that Pam Bondi clarify her reports of 14 terabytes of children being raped after the Department of Justice issued letter contradicting her claims to clear the air of the Epstein firestorm. Roger Stone also calls on AG Pam Bondi to answer.
Why would Pam Bondi say, we got 14 terabytes and hundreds of new victims, and put all that out? And you've also got the U.S. attorney and a bunch of others coming out and saying they've seen it, it's coming out. Why would they do all that and then now say, oh, actually, there's nothing? And I get it. There's not an official, here's my client list. He was talking to restaurants and lawnmowers and pool people and politicians and business. Obviously, most people that he's got numbers of aren't that's clear. The point is that why would they come out and say, we've got all this, we're going after them, they're going to be prosecuted, and then now 180 so fast?
That is a question that I think Pam Bondi has to answer. In other words, we have a discrepancy. I believe Kash Patel when he says we don't have anything. That's because it was destroyed. And as far as Epstein killing himself, Michael Baden, the New York City medical examiner, probably the single most respected pathologist in the country, inspected Epstein's body and said that the wounds, that the broken bones in his neck were completely inconsistent with him hanging himself. And he also pointed out that he has conducted autopsies in 1,000 hanging cases. We also know that David Schoen, the criminal defense lawyer, was retained by Epstein, and they agreed to a very sizable retainer on the Thursday before the Saturday that he allegedly killed himself. So who hires a new lawyer to head his criminal defense and then kills himself 2 days later?
Great points by Roger Stone. So, it's another sad day. No matter who you vote for, you get John McCain. And now that they're, who knows? Was Elon Trump telling the truth about, was Elon Musk telling the truth about Trump being in the Epstein files, and that's why we're not finding it out? It's obvious to me that there's a cover-up happening, and it's coming from Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and Dan Bongino. And, it'd be one thing if they didn't have a track record of screaming about this. But they have a track record of themselves screaming at the top of their lungs about this. and imploring people to focus on this and not let it go. And then as soon as they get in a position to do something, they say, don't focus on it, let it go. So meet the new boss, same as the old boss. And there is a deep state, and Jeffrey Epstein was running a criminal sex trafficking organization, and he has compromised on a lot of powerful people, and they're not allowed to go after them.
And who has that evidence?
And they're not just like the Diddy case, just like the Diddy case came in and got fixed by the deep state. You know, James Comey's daughter. The same things happen. So the same thing. This is above their pay grade. They can't do anything about this. Okay, over to Steph.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. I mean, look, we still don't have answers about the assassination of JFK. We don't have answers to that, you know. Hey, Arbeit macht free. I don't know what Arbeit macht free. Savage, I'm not sure what that means. What about if we don't use digitized version? Are they still notified when you use the ID? I don't know. Oh, camera 4 beside me. Come on. You got it already. I saw it up there. All right. I don't know, Building 7. I don't know. Christy Noam Chomsky, Autonaut. Yes, correct. And I was governed a real ID without my consent. I was given a real ID without my consent in New York City simply when I renewed my driver's license. Can I exchange it for a regular ID? I am so pissed. Martinis, I think you can. Check back with the DMV and request it. RefuseRealID.org. RefuseRealID.org. And check that out. Corn Pop. Know the comedian Trevor Moore. Apparently, if counting in metric time measurements, he died 6 years, 6 months, 6 days after WKUK released a video on YouTube called High in Church Illuminati. What does this mean exactly? And you sent it again, Corn Pop, baddest dude. I'll give you a ding. High in Church Illuminati. I'm going to have to find that bitch out later. Let's see here. Uh-oh, hold on. Big gong coming your way. Trump sold out America and MAGA. Israel is his supreme leader now. Maybe always was. The real... What is it? The real Schneid? Is that what you have there? A deep dive into weather manipulation. It's more than we believe, way more than seeding. And that, you gave me a link for that one. I'll check it out and share it with the team. I am Mark FB. Thank you, Mark FB. Recently found out. Why is she barking? Recently found out that Stone. Will you go see if something's happening? Recently found out that Stone, Kissinger, and Pechenik worked on Nixon to sell out American industry to China, kind of the same way the cybersecurity is given to Israel today. Kind of the same way cybersecurity has been given to Israel today. Corn Pop, the baddest dude. Jesus didn't need no stinking ID. He took his whip to the den of robbers and spilled their money. What would Jesus do? Redistribute. Dave, Proxy Party, I am the final and most fun party. Thank you, Proxy. Trump bombed Iran. He knew the alternative choice. Savage. Please consider having attorney Melanie Little YouTube on your show to explain the massive police corruption in Massachusetts and how law enforcement is being used to shut down free press. Thanks. Roosevelt. What was she doing? What were you doing? What were you barking at? Did you have a nightmare? What was going on? My dog, I will show you. Let me see if I can show her. Hold on. She's a heavy girl. Well, let's see if we can do this. All right, come over to Jimmy's mic. Come here. Oh. Okay, there she goes. Come this way and wave. Hi. All right, that's my Betsy. Hi. I love you. Good girl. All right. I'll put you out in a second. Let me finish. That was Betsy. She takes the door open. She does? Oh, good. Thank you. So she knows. I wonder what she was barking at. That's our girl. She's a little cutie pie. There she is. My dog. There she is. All right, let's see. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. Hey, Nathan, love you all too. She is huge. Yes. Yes, I will do a segment. I just haven't been, life's been challenging to get around. There's been a lot of stuff that we've been balancing here, plus family stuff. All is good. Jimmy should take over stupid pet tricks from Letterman. Liquor Giant. Oh, weren't those great? Do you remember that one where the guy came in and the dog pretends it's dead and he's holding the dog and the dog kept going? Totally cute. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Betsy actually was named by our friend's daughter. Jet named Betsy, so I thought that was pretty cute. I wanted to keep that name. Albrecht translate to work sets you free in German. It was prominently displayed above the entrance gate of Auschwitz concentration camp. Malcolm, thank you for that. And then Misha came in with idle hands are the devil's workshop. I love that you know that. That you even know that is so... That's right. Remember that. What are your hands doing right now? They look idle to me. All right, let's see here. Moving on. Where did all my business go? Here we go. All right, so I want to make sure, yes, I will share that one with the team about Melanie Little. Definitely, thank you for that one. Oh, in 2016, there was an anti-Muslim protest in Houston that was organized on Facebook by Russia. On the other side, protesting for Muslims were people that were set up on another Facebook group by who? Russia. Corn Pop, the baddest dude. Don't worry, Jimmy's going to come back and do some more stories, so don't worry. What do we have? 5 stories so far? Sam, who is that portrait over your right shoulder? I'll have to ask him. I don't know. Cold War active measures are... Oh, but that was asked by the judges, 51. I thought it was Brody Stevens, but it looked too happy to be Brody. I'm not sure. Corn Pop, the baddest dude. Cold War active measures are still in full effect. Thank you. Savage, they cry out in pain as they strike you, Savage. Which group works every demographic? Cold War active measures are still in full effect, Corn Pop. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I read that one. Have you heard a third Top Gun movie is in production right now, set for potential release next year? What war will they prepare us for this time? Randy, wow. Martin Seligman. Sam knows. I didn't get into that one. Sorry, Brad. I just saw a Rumble commercial on YouTube. Corn Pop, crazy. What? Look at Qualia Logal. It has a Star of David. Okay. Ex-bootlicker says, love you, Steph. Well, love right back, bootlicker. But you're ex-bootlicker, right? Are you ready? Did you say so?
Yeah.
Back to Jim.